Welcome to Ride the Wave, hosted by me, Jeff Fisher, and co-hosted by Mark Robinson, in partnership with the Ride the Wave Foundation. Visit us at ridethewave.org, where we're dedicated to empowering their lives through free resources in servant leadership, mental health wellness, and how to find a purpose. At Ride the Wave, we believe in the power of every story, talent, and voice. Our commitment is clear: to bridge divides, unite communities, and build an all-inclusive, modern campus for those experiencing homelessness. So let's dive in and ride the wave of positive change together. Hey everyone, thank you so much for tuning in to Ride the Wave. To my right, man with the master plan, Mark Robinson.
Jeff,
What's going on, man?
what's going on?
Not much. Today's guest is Luba Popov. She's an Exclusive Land Services. That's her company that she owns. If you go to www.exclusivelandservices.com, it's real estate title insurance out of New York and New Jersey. She also works part-time as a part-time pharmacist for Ocean Breeze Pharmacy. And I wanted to thank Kim. Shout out to her. Kim is my sister-in-law, and she's friends with Luba. And when Luba and I spoke, I thought she had a really, really great story and figured she'd come on and share that story. So Luba, just want to thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for inviting me. I feel very humbled and grateful that you have me here. So thank you for that. As far as my story, when I was 5 years old, I immigrated with my family from the Ukraine to this country. We were escaping communism at the time in 1989. We moved to Brooklyn in like roach-infested apartments. It was very difficult. And then within 2 years, my father passed away. So I saw the struggle that my mom went through in a new country with 2 children. So that made my work ethic strong, seeing those struggles, and made me very independent. So probably from about the age of 9, I had an entrepreneurial spirit. I would sell candy bars door to door, babysit for neighbors. Then when I was in high school, September 11th happened. And my mom, she actually had a lot invested in the stock market. So she lost everything at the time. So I became a telemarketer for a mortgage company. And I would give her all of my paychecks to try to help her out, not to lose the house. So when she wound up selling the house, she actually gave me back everything I gave her. And that's how I got my first car. And her and my stepfather, they moved back to Ukraine. And I was about 17 years old, and I did not want to go with them. I decided to just stay here, work 7 days a week as a mortgage broker. And shortly after that, I met my husband. He was a real estate broker. We got engaged, moved in.
Out of Staten Island, right?
In Staten Island.
Okay, that's where you're from.
Yeah. After we moved in together and got married, had a kid, in 2008, there was a huge real estate crash. So both of us were affected. Both of us were commission-based salesmen. So I decided to go back to school and pursue a doctorate in pharmacy. So we had the idea that if I go into this profession, it could lead us to open up pharmacies in the future.
That's great.
And when I was ready to open up a pharmacy, my mother-in-law actually wanted to retire. So she approached me. She had this real estate title insurance agency. So I decided I'll go over there and take over the business. That was about 2.5 years ago. So now I'm the owner of that company, and I'm doing pharmacy part-time because my passion is to help people.
Yeah. Thank you for that. And thank you for the really thoughtful gift. My mom, Kathy, shout out to my mom, my cousin, Bridget, and also Lucille, who's my cousin. Very close family I've loved from the heart for them. They're here. They're in the back just spectating. And Luba was nice enough to give a gift too. So I could tell right off the bat, you have that relationship sort of set like that. You're that type of person that's giving. So
Thank you.
Thank you. It
Yes.
was very thoughtful
Thank you.
of you doing that and giving the gift to my mom too. How old were you when you came here from Ukraine?
5.
5. What do you have any memories being there during that time when the communism?
So I
was
don't
full
have
on?
memories from that time. I just know the stories that
Mhm.
my parents tell me. I did go back when I was about 19 years old, just to see what's going on there and to visit my parents,
Mhm.
but it was a lot different than from when I was a child.
Yeah. Do you think it's possible that your parents would share that story and be on sometime? Maybe we'll talk about that.
Maybe. My mom doesn't speak English that well,
No? That's
so,
good.
but maybe.
Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah, I mean, I definitely feel your spirit. I feel definitely the drive. And that must have been really, really difficult. I have a question for you. For you, resilience-wise, during those times where '08 crash, 9/11, all that, what are some of the things that you had done or implemented or done within yourself to get through those tough times?
Well, I engraved in my brain pretty much that failure is not an option. It's just not. I just can't fail. So if I would have to work 7 days a week, 24 hours, sleep for 2, 3 hours, it didn't matter. You just go, go, go. And that's it. I really just, there was no option of failure. And, there were times I would cry, nervous breakdowns. I'm in
Of course.
school, I have kids, but you just keep going. Suck it up and keep it going. Stay motivated.
Yeah.
Things are hard, but they're not impossible.
Yeah.
That's what I would remind myself.
Yeah,
That it's
absolutely.
difficult, but it's not impossible.
No, I think failure as well, it's a matter of perspective. It's how you view it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Sometimes it takes you to fail, to fall, to learn from that and get back up.
Absolutely. Me, myself, in the beginning of the year with NTK equipment, there were we were growing fast and some challenges that we had faced and like right around the corner from that. And I realize now how many lessons are in, and it almost is a pruning essentially. And it's how you view it and how you get back up from it. It's I think it's either you're missing something, something there, the universe telling you need to figure something out, or you got to go through it and then be better for it. Sort of like working out
Exactly.
and then damaging those muscles and then strengthening even stronger.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree 100%.
It's like you can't have failure without success.
Absolutely.
There's one hand success or failure, success.
Yeah.
You got to go through the failure in order to succeed.
Absolutely. You have to learn from your mistakes,
Yeah.
Sometimes, people give up, but you just can't give up. You have to learn from the mistakes to get back up.
Sylvester Stallone, 1,000 roughly turn downs for
Oh, wow.
Rocky 1. And he was told that he was not going to star in it.
Yes.
Multiple times, 1,000. I think the light bulb was way over. Edison, before, everybody says, oh, Edison or whomever, like whatever, with the light bulb. But you know how many fail after fail? Oprah Winfrey, excuse me, saying that she's never going to be on a talk show, or maybe she got demoted because of that. Walt Disney, you're not creative enough for a particular job. He was demoted or let go. I can't remember. It's a must. And in order to succeed, you kind of have to understand how to fail. And if you know how to fail, the best people succeed in the world, they know how to fail. And they understand that it's going to happen regardless. So eventually, after there's going to be a series with the books, there's going to be a wave maker teaching people how to connect on the street that they normally wouldn't, to kind of get that spirit, get that wave going. Ride the Wave is going to be helping people to continue that, but also get to a purpose because it's from the inside out. And then I think it's tidal wave, trying to see the vision there. Tidal wave is more, those failures are going to happen. So when they do, some tools or some things to help get back up from that, recognize them, because, I think it comes out through a lot of self, discovery and things like that. Do you do anything like journaling or anything like that
I
to
don't
get through
journal,
stuff?
but I try to motivate everybody.
Yeah.
Anyone that comes to me saying like, "Oh, I'm thinking to get into the title business, but I heard it's so hard." I ask them, "But is it impossible?"
Mm.
No, it's not impossible. It's hard, but it's not impossible. I always try to motivate, you'll never know unless you try. And even like Facebook, Instagram, every day, I try to post something motivational because I
Yeah.
feel like you never know who needs to see it that day.
Yeah. That's so important. And I've learned that 100% through my interaction with Daryl, what is the reason why we're really sitting here. And it's very true, and that's what's lacking. And encouragement is fuel for the spirit. If you encourage the crap out of somebody, try it. Just go up to somebody. And I was out with Dr. Matt. We went to lunch recently in Rockaway. And while I was there, we walked in, and there was a really nice receptionist or person that sat us down. So sweet, really, really nice. And Dr. Matt and I were sitting there, and I'm like, and she doesn't get much compliments from her manager, she told me. She said, "Oh, and she was really, really nice." And I think that certain people need that recognition. I could tell. So I said, "All right, go get your manager. Act like I'm mad. Act like I'm mad when you do." Me and Dr. Madison there. So she comes over, or he comes over expecting. I'm like looking down the menu. I'm like, I've been coming here since you guys opened. I paused, and I looked at him, and I'm like, whatever her name was, I can't remember the exact name. She was from, I think, Poland or somewhere like that. And I just said, she is the sweetest, best, most like I've never had anybody better in any way. And you could see somebody's eyes slowly light up.
Yes,
And he
absolutely.
didn't expect it out of nowhere. And if you find it, I had a recent, without going into detail, interaction with somebody where I found a formula a little bit to something similar to that we're going to put into principles. But it fills me with joy. It really, really
Same.
does.
Me too.
Yeah, isn't it great? Like,
Yeah.
you've given gifts. You didn't have to do that. It was very sweet of you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
A lot of people always demotivated me. When I wanted to go to pharmacy school and I was in finance, I was a mortgage broker. Everyone's like, "Oh, it's hard. You'll never be able to do it." And you know what? Eventually, "you'll never be able to do it" made me do it even more. Every time someone tells me I
Yeah.
can't do something, it makes me want to do it even more. And it wasn't even just with that. All my life, "Oh, it's so hard. You won't be able to do it." Like, I'm doing this podcast. I didn't even tell anyone where I'm going and what I'm doing
Yeah.
because I don't need their opinions. I'm going to go do what I want to do
Yeah.
and then figure it out. What works, what doesn't. Not everything is going to work.
Yeah.
Like going back to the failure. So I'll fail in one thing, but you have to keep trying. Do multiple things. Not everything is going to work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And I think that it's important to surround yourself with a good network of people that are
Absolutely.
supportive.
Yeah, that's
And
why I love
supporting
to
each other.
motivate people,
Yeah.
support people, Doesn't feel nice when someone keeps telling you that you won't be able to do it.
But also, too, I
know?
mean, I know I could be stubborn sometimes with certain things. So I feel like maybe constructive criticism is important to be able to take feedback, to be able to
Yes.
do that. I recently, thank you so much to Mark Hansen. Mark Hansen is out of Pennsylvania, Lancaster. He is a sales VP of NCK Equipment. I was like scrambling around where my calendar was a little off. So hey, Jeff, noticing that this is happening, constructive feedback, and he wheeled me back in. And that was exactly what we needed as a team. And we've openly talked about that. Helping each other out because we're all on the same mission and we're trying to achieve the same goals. We all want to provide for our family, make good money. There's an opportunity and a lane to leave a legacy now. So we're trying to really tighten it up. And I think that it's fun. It's fun.
is.
It doesn't have to be so uptight, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, I love a fun work environment. My
Yeah.
music is always on when I'm working, whether it's in the pharmacy, whether it's in the title agency. I like to laugh, I'll treat people lunches and everything,
Mhm.
When something goes wrong, I
Yeah.
get stern, I get down to business,
Something tells me, Mark, what do you think? Something here tells me Luba could lock it down, though, if she needs to.
Oh, absolutely.
Mm.
You don't
Someone
want to
tells me
see
there's
that
an
side.
independence there that
Yeah.
you wouldn't want to be around to.
No, yeah, you don't want to see that side. No, but I love constructive criticism because it makes my business better. It makes my customers happier.
Yeah.
You know, customer satisfaction is key. How else is your business going to grow? I want everyone to be happy. So I always ask, please call me, text me, let me know whatever goes wrong, what you didn't like anywhere, and I fix it. I change policies, procedures. I make sure that it's
Yeah.
addressed.
I have a question for you because maybe we could exchange resources too after this, or because right now, sometimes accountability on that end, I want to be real nice and, do those things. So having that carrot/stick and knowing when to implement that and stuff like that. Do you, as far as accountability, what are some of your, if any, tactics or like your style when it comes to that, your approach?
Well, for me, it's actually a pet peeve when someone won't take accountability for their mistake. You know, if I make a mistake, I find out how did it occur? How can I prevent it from occurring again? I apologize and I fix the problem
What about for your team?
for my team as
Yeah,
well.
holding them accountable, I mean.
I hold them accountable. I won't fire somebody for a simple mistake. I won't yell at them. You know, I'll just guide them through how to make it not happen again.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
I mean, there are people that'll be, I didn't do it. Excuses, excuses. I don't need excuses. I need this not to happen again. Let's learn.
Yeah. Yeah. My I've been getting pulled in so many different directions to put out fires with NCK. Now that we're rounding the corner, we're going to implement a nice workshops, strategies where we sit down, we really open people up. Nice. Mark is going to be coming to the meetings and stuff like that. I'm excited about the new year. It's rounding the corner and what's in store for Ride the Wave.
Absolutely.
And guests such as yourself is what it's all about.
Thank you.
Strong woman in business.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. And where your family is from, I can't even imagine how tough that was to come over here and do that at that time during communism like that.
There was a lot of hardships.
Yeah.
You know, over there, I know, like if your kids acted up in school, then the parents could get fired from their job. So it was things like that.
That's a little much.
Yeah, but it's true.
Mm.
It's true. So that is a bit much. And there was an opportunity to grow, to make money. I mean, it was very dangerous. Crime was up. So, we came here to seek like refuge legally. We're citizens and everything. Over 30
Yeah.
years in this country.
Yeah.
You know.
And would you like most about the United States coming here?
Well, the American dream, right?
Mm-hmm.
The ability to do what I'm able to do now. I can
Yes.
be a business owner. I can be a doctor. I can be whatever I want to be.
Yeah.
You have all the opportunities here, whether to go to school or to get mentors, and it's a fairly safer country.
Does it scare you at all what's going on within this country now? Like it could potentially get like that?
Of course, it scares me. And especially I have 2 kids. I have a teenage boy. I have a 7-year-old daughter. Of course, it scares me.
I think it's important. We have an understanding of why people do come over, why they have and still do. Because it really is important. There's a structure to this country in the beginning that was put forth that I think we should be really, really careful about veering too far off of that.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I think the importance of understanding that it's still there. We haven't lost it. We can get it. And maybe learn. I think it's a lack of vision. Like a lack of, we used to go to space and stuff like that. We used to have something we were shooting for. So we really need just another set of values, business style, and a mission statement and some vision. And I think that if we may not all agree, if everybody's kind of somewhat on the same page way, because maybe it's not. Maybe it's just no longer the white picket fence. Maybe we have to step it up to a different level now.
People have to be motivated. I feel like the young kids, they watch YouTube, they see all these fancy cars, all these fancy houses, and they think that it's so easy to acquire.
Right.
You get it for no reason. But no one sees how hard I work, like except for my husband. No one sees what it takes, to do what I do in order to have a car, a house. You have to work, you have to be motivated. So.
And Yeah, I mean, you make a good point because there's so much impulse control that gets out of control with, especially with young people. But, like then all these men specifically, but I'm sure women too, to a certain capacity, with the way they cheat on their husbands and things like that, and sort of that hedonistic stuff. I think it goes. The root is young people. Like as an example, there should be walls up, username and password and paywalls, all pornography on the internet. I had, and I'm not trying to be weird. Like I was like in the woods or something with a friend years back. That was the access. Like no access. You couldn't purchase anything, whether it be a magazine, across from a store. And I'm just giving one example. And then people wonder why people have no impulse control later. There should be some moral restrictions, not to be controlling people or saying what they're due, but things like that should be blocked for an age where you're 17, 18. There needs to be moral law slowly implemented.
So I'm with my
Softly.
husband for 21 years now. We were actually at my sister-in-law's mom passed away. So we were at the funeral the other day. During the funeral, he's getting messages, and he's a real estate broker. Oh, I want you to show me a house. And more like, oh, I'm interested in you, whatever. He's like, I'm married. I'm sorry, I'm happily married. She goes, oh, well, I'm unhappily married.
Right. No loyalty.
He's showing me this, like, should I find her husband and send him this message? Like, he feels bad. We're very loyal people. I don't know. The accountability for that, the internet access to do all that. I don't know. It's out of control.
Yeah. And flipping up text. And you're right. I agree with you also about the cars and the money and things like that. A lot of it is when I think young people, my assumption is when they're seeing that, these kids and the reasons why they're making money. I mean, the Hawk Tui girl.
I know.
So for anybody who doesn't know, and this is ridiculous. This is a clean show for the most part.
Yes.
Anybody could say what they want on it. This girl was outside of a bar, if anyone doesn't know this, and it was getting interviewed and talking about that,
Right.
And you got to give it a Hawk Chewy, all right, for those who understand. Now, granted, it was ridiculous. Millions of dollars she's making. Podcast all over the place, on all the shows, Rogan. What does that say about our culture? What does that say about who we are when a child can make millions of dollars for doing that? These kids are fighting each other in mansions and going around the street doing these dangerous things, and they are millionaires in this economy. So I think it's really, really important to do an assessment and really think about what we want as a nation.
Absolutely.
What do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. That's ridiculous. I'm working here like 7 days a week, morning till night, and Miss Hawk 2 is getting millions of dollars for saying one phrase on the internet.
Now,
Like,
what do you think about that, Mark?
Honestly, I don't know what to say, but
It's ridiculous. What world did we flip into?
Right.
it is ridiculous of how much money she's making. Not the fact that she's making money, is how much money.
Right, like not
It's like,
hating or anything,
right.
you know.
Right. It's no hating at all. It's just how much
Yeah.
off of that type of thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. On the flip side, now it's not something that's mainstream yet, because I love to attend conferences and things like that. Day of Development I recently went to. Shout out John Gordon Companies. Really appreciate. Amazing event. Going to be at the Entree Leadership coming up, Master Series, and that's in Tennessee, which I'm really looking forward to honing in those skills and really networking this thing. There are very good and a large group of kids, young people that are entrepreneurs, and they're very well brought up. They're not activated yet, but it's just, and it really is. And they make a decent amount of money, and there's large corporations that do put and insert love into their cultures of companies. That's why I think, like, when I had a conversation with Marvin when he was on, we did, about methadone, all those like dull, super bureaucratic like spots where nobody's welcoming, it's a cultural thing. If you welcome people like how you are or how this thing is, hey, come on in, you know, welcome. We're so glad you're here.
Yeah.
Have a seat, nice, modern, clean facility. That's what Mark and I's dream is to create that all-inclusive campus for people that they can go to and clean, nice, humane.
Amazing.
And they don't leave until they're reformed, and they're strict. You can't mess around. No drugs on site. You're out. That's it. Almost like a school graduation, but empowerment training, not just math, things like that, because they won't understand if they're not educated. So how to be a go-giver, how to encourage others, practical empowerment skills, mental health strategies from a business perspective that I've been learning myself too. I think that if it's not going to be anyone else, you know what I mean? It comes from the inside out. And the person right there that's sitting there knows that they have that dream right now. My advice is to go for it. When I was at the Day of Development, one thing when Gordon was up there speaking, he talked about legacy and he said, legacy ends with you. And it hit home. It's like, if I quit, my legacy quits.
Absolutely.
I'll never stop, Luba.
Same here.
Ever. I
Can't
love that.
stop me.
What about that drive though?
Absolutely.
Right? It's in
you
the
gotta
spirit.
have it. Mhm.
Yeah, absolutely.
Maybe that's the New York spirit.
Hey, there is. It's still there. It's alive. It's coming. It's coming. You know, we've gotten through so many things. If you think about it, World War
I was
II.
I was just thinking about that the other day. Even blackout, the whole blackout, 9/11, meteors, COVID, everything just keeps
you know, the
going.
only thing that with COVID that's a concern is 9/11 brought people together.
COVID tore people apart.
If I was the devil,
Families and
if I was the
everything.
devil, I'd keep people secluded. Because I've seen people that are secluded that don't go out and that might not interact with people and just so unhealthy. So
Yeah,
things
people
like
went
that, it makes
crazy.
sense.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, it was actually a very beautiful thing after 9/11, how everyone came together.
Yeah.
It was absolutely everybody, children, adults, no matter what gender, what color, it doesn't matter who you are, everyone
Yeah.
Right.
was there for each other.
Mhm.
Amazing. A little after Hurricane Sandy, there was a lot of togetherness as well.
Yeah.
But after that disaster, if only people could remember how we were, you know, post
Yeah.
9/11. What happened?
Or
Yeah.
even post-COVID,
Yeah.
you know?
Hey, see what fear does. But I've made the decision that I realized that fear doesn't win, love does. And it's only a matter of time. And you just have to step into it. And it's literally encoded in my DNA, my heart, my spirit. I know it for a fact. So that's how I live my life. I walk around like that, like, all right, like that's not going to win. So it don't matter to me.
Yeah. I also try to think that way, right? Love will always prosper, goodness.
I think it's the strongest force.
Same here.
What do you think, Mark?
Yeah. I mean, love it starts from within. If you love yourself enough where you feel like you can start or learn how to love other people, then you go a long way. But it all starts with you coming from the outside, coming from the inside out.
Bro, it was a year ago. Me and you walking down Morristown, down the street, side by side. My family, everybody around me thinking kind of crazy, which is all good. And we knew, you and me.
Yeah,
You and me knew.
from that day.
Yeah, and you know, we really didn't think we would go within a year. I thought it was 3 years before I would even speak to somebody at Gordon's companies, even a staff member, like even to get their attention. So it's nice. It's a blessing. And my fear is my ego, you know, or like doing anything like that. Excuse me, because I tell these guys, if I'm off track, please, by all means, hold me accountable. Let me know, like Mark Hansen did. You know, if I'm off track, I appreciate that because I don't want to mess up the mission,
Yeah,
Right.
the commitment, you know?
That's
That
great.
is true.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
guys
that's
have a
very
good team. that's there
Absolutely.
for each other. That's the most important too. Like I'm here right now and I'm 100% like knowing that my team right now in my office, they
Yeah,
got it.
they got it.
You know, whatever it is, they got it.
Yeah, and Alex Hayes is he's a young guy. Alex Hayes, he's been working I think a couple of years now, and he's doing a great job. He is. If it wasn't for Alex, the way we ended up coming out, he came on board too. It was a very unique way, and the timing of it was impeccable. If he didn't hold down the fort with all the like quotes and stuff and like invoice all that, there would be no wave. There would be no NCK. So yeah, it's also appreciating other people. Like somebody that is in a management position that doesn't appreciate their people, it gives me a certain type of way. I feel a certain type of way. I almost have to speak up. I can't. I don't like it.
You could kind of tell how a company is by their employee turnaround. My employees are there for a decade and more, right? Employee turnaround all the time. If people are quitting, there's a problem. Then where do you get your seasoned professionals from? That's a disaster.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And you can't do anything really by yourself. You could open up a business by yourself. Will it run? Team of one? You need to have a team around you. That's the best. That's the easiest. That's how you can enjoy what you do, love what you do, have a wonderful team, treat them well, you know?
If you don't have a good leader when you're working with a team, you wouldn't have a good team.
Yeah, it's
because
yeah, you do need a good leader.
If the team can do what they do, but if you don't have a good leader, the team and the whole organization can fall apart.
Absolutely.
It's very true.
Yeah, there's
Just
a lot.
like that.
If the boss is not there, that business will fail.
Nice.
No one's
Yeah.
really going to care, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. And it's another reason why employees quit, because they feel like either their coworkers or their leader is not doing
Not guiding them, no guidance, right?
right, or not.
Yeah.
They make a mistake, and their boss, instead of trying to help them, like you said earlier, instead of help them through the mistake or try to prevent it from happening again, their boss be like, "Oh, you're fired. One mistake, you're out of here."
I'm coming back around to you and Alex. I told you that. I just, what it was, Luba, like as a business owner, it was unexpected. So it was really working the entire year to really put out this fire and expand on certain things that were mistakes. But what an amazing learning experience, though. And if we survive this, ain't nothing we can't survive.
You'll survive.
You know what I mean? The storm is something, but you can't do it alone. And also you can't do it with technology. Mark actually Hansen said on the phone recently today, technology can give you an answer, but it can't give you support. It can't give you emotional support, physical. There is an energy to having real bodies that are friends. I mean, I had a young person say to me, and I was like surprised I even had to say this. Yeah, you probably have friends that are people. I never thought in a million years I would say such a word. Just on technology, all friends online, things like that. It's interesting. It's interesting to me how that is. And I think it's if there's a balance of that and going out, there just needs to be. There just has to be. Because otherwise, if we're on our phones and we're doing all that kind of stuff, the world's literally going to fall apart. There's going to be no infrastructure. Then you're going to wonder why there's crime on the street. Mm-hmm. Nobody's going to implement the laws because everybody's going to be doing what they want to do.
Yeah. And loneliness, no, that's horrible. I remember during COVID, I was a pharmacist, so everyone was scared of me. And then my neighbor, she was a nurse. Everyone was scared of her. No one wanted to be around us, because we're working like overtime. Everyone is home. Mm-hmm. So we started hanging out together. We were like, yes, we're not afraid of each other. Like you need some kind of human interaction.
Yes, community.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's great. So that must have been really difficult to get a PhD.
It was.
And switch careers like that. Tell me about that. Where'd you go to school?
I went to Rutgers University for pharmacy school. So I went to Touro College for undergrad. because I was working full time, they had very lenient schedule and they were cheap. So I did well. They gave me a dean scholarship, and then like the monthly plan was fairly cheap. So after that, I went to Rutgers University for the PharmD. I already had my son. He was like 2 years old. So between my son and school, I was going crazy. It was very difficult.
How many kids did you say you have?
2.
2. And
Yeah.
how old are they?
14 and 7.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So the second one, I waited to be done with school, because one was enough in pharmacy
It's a
school.
big gap between kids.
Right. Because of school.
Mhm.
That's why. Actually, me and my brother have 7 years apart, and it wasn't because of school. It just happened that way.
Yeah.
So they're 7 years apart, but that was because of school.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I went to Rutgers for the PharmD, and then for title insurance, I just study online and take all those exams.
And just to clarify, what you meant by school is that gap of paying for school, right? So like a 4-year gap, for example, my brother and I are 4 years apart. If you're paying for one child for college, you're saying that, right? The next one? Or what did you mean by?
No, because I was in school and I had to study so much
Gotcha.
that like one kid, they get sick, they have daycare, they have this and that. They have vaccines. You're always taking them to the doctor when they're like a baby, And on top of that, I'm full-time and very difficult doctorate of pharmacy program, which I graduated magna cum laude from both Touro and Rutgers. Yeah, but that was very difficult. So I waited to have the second child after school, after I was done fully,
And you were saying your husband is pretty well known.
He's the number one real estate broker in Staten Island for over a decade.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
What's
He's
the
on the
name?
Hall of Fame.
Oh, wow. Good for
over
him.
there.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. He's Gary Paparov.
Gary Papper. That name does sound familiar.
Does it Homes R Us Realty
Okay.
I've seen that.
in Staten Island.
All right. Shout out.
Thank you. He
Gary,
has
yeah,
his
you guys-
Jersey license too,
Nice.
but yeah, he mainly does New York.
How important was it for you to be with somebody that has similar drive?
I never really thought about that, but I guess that was, a turn on that he's a motivated individual and not just like a lazy bum,
Could've been a
Especially
lot
with
worse.
my drive. I don't think I'd be able to handle that.
I never met him, but I'm sure he's a good guy. Gary, you're not like that.
No, he's not like. We push each other. We motivate each
that's
other.
nice.
We're there for each other. Like, if something is difficult for him, I'll be like, what can I do to help you to make it easier so you can do whatever you need to do? And that's the relationship with each other. Like for me to get through pharmacy school, he had to help a lot as well.
Mhm.
So we're constantly like, we're a team. We're a very good team.
Oh, I love that. Yeah.
And the fact that y'all have similar careers almost. Like you're in real estate and he's in real estate. So it's like it kind of.
Now, yeah.
Yeah.
For me, it was like back and forth. I was in a similar career, then not, then back.
Do you feel like you're competitive?
I'm very
Do
competitive.
you want to beat him?
No. I prefer him to beat me. Beat me so I could retire.
Nice. Yeah.
But we have more chances of success when both of us are the way we are.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and I think everyone is different. And when you find that right person, for me, Kristen balances me out. She's my yin to yang. I was just getting a hard time because some laundry out. Sorry, Mom, she's in the waiting room. But yeah, laundry, that is an issue for me. My ADD kicks in and I just really focus on some priorities now. Like what, I shift to purpose. Like, is this priority aligned with this? And I just, not that she's doing all the stuff like that, but yeah, there's a grounding aspect to her. And it definitely is real love. I mean, Kristen, she's so relaxed compared to me in a good way.
Yeah.
In a good way. So it really depends. It really depends who you are.
my husband is very relaxed
That's good.
compared to me.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why, you think I'm relaxed? I hope.
I don't know. I think I met you at just the wedding. We haven't really had an opportunity to talk other than that. I think just briefly said hello at the wedding, me and you. You were at our wedding, right? Or were you at Kim's? Then it was Kim's.
Was that? I don't think I was at Kim's wedding either, actually. I think I missed that one.
Maybe
Yeah.
we never met. I thought we
I
said
don't
hello
think
to each
so.
other.
Maybe.
okay.
I don't remember, though. Maybe somewhere.
Somewhere along the line.
Somewhere along the line.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's good. What are your So what are some of your upcoming ventures, or what do you see? Do you have like a plan? You're just
I
going to do the
would
real estate
like
thing?
to own multiple businesses,
Mm,
and that's what's on the way, right? I have
Yes.
the real estate title insurance business now. I would love to open up a pharmacy one day and just
that's
keep
great.
it going, keep it growing.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, one of the things, right, Mark? We've opened up this space in our platform for any guests or volunteers that have updates on what they're working on. You know, hey, Luba, our valued guest is working on this, or if you had a charity or something, we've connect on our social media for that. Fully support those efforts, Luba.
Oh,
And I say
okay.
go for, if you really want to get in your own pharmacy, definitely do that. And I'm happy to, or we're happy, Ride the Wave, to collaborate in any way, exchange resources to help you with that.
Thank you so much. There is actually a very big project in Staten Island that I'm a part of. I'm working with my rabbi to open up a new facility, and it's going
Nice.
to be like a huge, gorgeous facility, and it's going to help a lot of people in the neighborhood. But
Okay.
maybe that'll be for next time. I can come with like some pamphlets and
Yes,
tell you
definitely come
about the
back.
Definitely.
project. But yeah, that's a huge project,
So right now, what
nonprofit.
phase? Are you in concept phase?
They have approvals, so they need to knock the place down and build, but we need to gather donations
Is there
for the
anywhere
building.
anybody can go to right now to give donations?
Yes, I just didn't take that information with me.
That's okay. We're going to put it on the screen.
Okay.
All right. So it'll pop up the website so you guys could go to, take a look and donate. Because
Thank you.
tell me about the facility. What are you guys looking to
It's
do?
a huge synagogue that's also going to have a school that will also be a shelter
Oh,
for
nice.
just in case, for
Mm.
the community. Uh, for all the high holidays, like we don't really have a nice synagogue in Staten Island.
Mm-hmm.
It's like tiny little places, not like really schools. So
Mm.
Yeah.
I
Have a
wish I
nice
had the
one.
pictures with me. I just don't have it. If you would see it, you would see the vision. It's really like different.
I think that's
Yeah.
really fantastic. That's
Thank
great.
you.
Yeah.
That I do like not that's non for profit. That's just to help out the community.
Very nice.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Nice.
So
What do you think about all this, Mark? You see, this is why this platform is so important. Because people got to know it's not hopeless.
yeah.
There's so many great, and it really is changing just every aspect. I've stepped into a transformation I didn't think possible because everyone has value. Mark, when we go, just at the bagel place, everyone, can we not talk to everyone about it?
Mm.
And it's so smooth, and everybody is interested, and they look right away. And hey, you want to be a guest? You just come down. We were just at the place right across the way and talking to a young person because we're trying to get young people. If there's anybody that is in their early 20s or, late teens that if you're younger, obviously, than 18, you need parents' permission. But to share your story about whether it be depression or what it's like to be someone your age, we really appreciate that. I think that's one gap, right?
Yeah. Basically, younger people, whatever you feel like other young people needs to hear about how young people feel in this modern day age, what trials and tribulations they deal with, and how some of them overcame or still dealing with, and things like that. So,
yeah, and what Mark meant there, adults. Like, what would you say to an adult if you had to explain what it's like to be a young man or a woman? I think that, yeah, because, it's so easy. We're having a very unique show come out next week. I don't know, right? I mean, I don't really think there's anything quite like it. It's about gender, and it's a gentleman that does identify as they, them. And I think it is important, no matter what, before we cast judgments on anything, at least have a bit of an understanding of what it is, that understanding aspect. I'm going to make that my one word for next year. This year was patience. I'm trying, Luba.
A lot of people don't try to understand other people, like where they're coming from. They just place judgment, and that's it.
Right. Like I have had so many stigmas that have been shattered through this process
Yeah.
of, wow, that individual that I never thought is working on this or doing this, or they want this. And most people that I find, it's not that they're lazy. It's not that they don't want to do things. Some people, yes. And I think it's important to weed that out. And I think society should have filters on that. If you're going to contribute and you have something to offer, great. But if not, just like the economy, right? Like if there's a crappy restaurant, it's not doing well, it should go out of business. So a nice one, clean, filters it in, and that's it. You know what I mean? I think that, but right now, it's just we're a little teetering with certain things. Election year coming up, it's like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
A lot of controversies this year.
Yeah. Yeah. But, right, following our principles, reading positivity, success journals, things like that. Inside out, just like junk food, eating it up. What you consume is who you become.
Absolutely. Yeah. But the judgment thing too, like I'm tiny, I'm blonde, breaking into like all the businesses, like everybody would be, oh, what does she know? What can she do? She's not a boss, until you see what I can do.
Yeah.
Like, give me the opportunity. And, I think maybe that drove me more, like, to be my own boss. I'm going to do it myself. I'm going to open up my own companies, okay? And that's it. And then no one needs to judge me or think what I can or can't do. They'll see what I can do.
Yeah.
Sort
of prove
it was
yourself.
very difficult. Yeah.
Has anyone ever been in the field inappropriate to you?
Yeah.
Does that happen
but I
often?
could take care of myself.
Is that something that happens quite often, or is it?
Whether they're in the field or not in the field, yeah, it happens quite often, but just ignore it.
Yeah, but you know what though?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't quite understand. I would never do that. Ethically, it's just not right. It's so unprofessional.
It's very unprofessional.
Yeah, and look at everything with, gosh, not to open up that can of worms.
That can of worms.
But like Hollywood and everything, all these
Oh,
people, and
Yeah.
it goes both ways. Like
I wanted to be an actress so bad when I was little. My mom was like, no, she forbid it because of those reasons that you're talking about. Forbid it. Yeah.
Yeah, they're so Sky Lamas Studio. If you guys want a really quality podcast, if you have one or you wanted to start one, Sky Lamas Studios in Totowa, New Jersey will pop up the website, but also has acting classes too. And Mark and I did some in the evenings, and actually it was very beneficial for us confidence-wise, right? Do you think that brought us closer together?
Yeah. It kind of tightened what we already have.
Right? Even with the exercises, like there's these cool exercises where you stand in front of somebody else and you put your hand, you mirror their movement. So your hands go up like this or you go like that. One person starts off as lead, then the other person goes, right? So you're like, and all of a sudden there's no lead, but you start to sync up non-verbally with somebody in your body. You can feel an energy.
Wow.
So like once in
cool.
a while we'll do it before a show.
That's cool.
It's very interesting. There's techniques like that for actors and
I
actresses.
took
and
an
stuff like that don't know each other.
I took a acting class in Manhattan when I was like 13 because I wanted to get into that. It was so weird. I remember like one thing from it. They're like, oh, when the camera goes on, when you're doing an interview, do something crazy because no one listens. They fast forward. But if like you stick out your tongue and you just go like that, like into the camera, then they'll like play that audition. I was like, whoa, okay. I was 13, but I don't know. I went on some auditions. I landed L'Oreal. I was modeling my hair for L'Oreal at the Javits Center one weekend.
Oh, nice.
It was a lot of money.
Nice.
It was like when I was like 14, 15 years old. Yeah. But then my mom, she quickly cut that off.
Oh, really?
Oh,
my
yeah.
friend Jamie works for L'Oreal.
Oh, yeah?
High up too. And very good company culture there.
Mm-hmm.
They're one of the good ones
Yeah.
in there. They treat their employees really well.
Yeah. It was just a nice weekend. I wouldn't really know, like, the culture within that company.
Yeah.
But it was definitely a nice weekend. Yeah.
Good.
Paid well.
Well, yeah, you gotta keep the hustle going.
Yeah.
Right?
They made my hair purple.
Purple?
Yeah.
Really? I can't picture that. Nice.
Yeah.
So what did you have to do for it? You had to
walk the runway. I had
Oh, you did
no
the
idea
runway
what I
stuff.
had to do. You see, just like I came here, like, all right, let's wing it. Same
Yeah.
thing, let's wing it. I had to, they did a before and after. They showed like crazy hair, brown,
Oh, so
curly.
yeah.
Yeah, and then they did like the makeover. They blew it out, made it purple, and like you walk the runway.
I
And
bet you
there's a
Jamie was
before
probably
picture.
there. I bet you Jamie was there.
Probably. You could ask if she did like events over there.
Yeah, she does a bunch of events. That'd be such a small world like that.
Right?
Connecting, yeah.
That's funny.
So, question: what advice do you have for upcoming women that want to get into business, or women that just started out and already in business?
Forget the noise. Forget the negativity. Even your best friend could give you bad advice. They could be telling you to stop, don't do it. What are you doing? This and that. I've had so many experiences with that. Do what you want to do. Go for your passion. Do what you love. Stay motivated. Never give up. Every failure is a learning experience. What else can I say? Stay inspired. Find a good support team.
Yeah, that's very well said, Luba.
Thank you.
I mean, really. That it really, I think that hopefully if there's
that was from the heart.
Yeah, that was. I could tell. I could feel it. That was really good advice. Really good. And that's general sense for just anyone.
Yeah.
And
I've lost a lot of friends through the way.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's okay. It's like the more successful you become.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. Like, I have friends that are way more successful than I am. I love to reap the benefits together with them.
Yeah.
Why not?
Of course.
Like, be happy for each other. Enjoy each other. So,
I mean, to me, it's an honor. It's an honor to be able to have this sort of space that we've created here. You could feel a space when you sit here. And it's like to be able to give people the opportunity to share their stories and have a platform.
Yeah. I'm fully calm. I'm 100% calm.
Yeah. Sometimes the first 10
great
minutes
environment. Yeah. You guys are awesome.
Yeah. And look, the owner, Slavik, very nice guy, Nick. It's somewhere, it's a place where you could tell it was good intentions. I was randomly Googling because we knew after Daryl and I did that first, if you look at the very first one was a recording on in a library. It was pretty raw. We had to get it out like July 4th. Everybody was thinking I was out of my damn mind. And, that ended up very shortly after Mark and I, we partnered here, but I was doing a search and there was a studio in Garfield. It was real random. I almost didn't find on a Google search here. And when I came in, I knew immediately.
You have a beautiful studio. I love your studio.
It's not mine.
Well,
I love the tape. Oh, it's all mine now. But Sky Llama's studio, just overall the product, and they're going to be big. And hopefully, what we hope for, right, Mark, is to like come up together. Because one thing is quality of details, attention, and I really liked. Not to obviously give up somebody's vision, but like he shared the vision with me personally, and I got it. I was like, all right, like there's definitely a drive. He has the vision. They're gonna get it. Yeah.
I love it. Whatever I could do to help motivate people, inspire people, I'm all in. I'm there. So you guys let me know.
Oh, I'll let you know. All right, we'll let you know. And yeah, I think that, if there's anything that you want to come on, if you want to come back, to talk about anything further, I think we should narrow down a little bit of this subject and really like dive into it. But yeah, you've been a great guest. And again, thank you really for the gift. That was very thoughtful when you came in.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, I know why Kim's friends with you.
Yeah, thank you. She's the director of the pharmacy and she recommended me. I'm very humbled and grateful for that.
We love Kim and also beautiful baby boys.
Oh,
recently,
amazing.
Tatum.
Yes.
And we get a kick out. Chris and I, we're going to watch Leon, who's one. And I think we're doing that in a couple of weeks on a Wednesday. We look forward to that. That's what it's all about.
Babysitting.
Yeah, we'll take him for a day. Maybe to the park or something. It's
nice.
Cute. Yeah, he's a cute kid.
He's so cute.
Yeah.
Oh, he's feeding the baby with the little bottle.
That's
and
Rusty's
cute.
such a good dad.
Yeah, he's amazing.
Yeah. No, excellent. Yeah, thank you. Well,
Thank you.
again, thank you so much for coming on. Is there anything before we end that you want to plug? Do you have any websites? I know I mentioned in the beginning your real estate. Is there, I know that's, or should I give that?
I could give it
Okay.
www.exclusivelandservices.com. That's the title insurance agency. We could do deed transfers, lien searches, whatever you want to do, with real estate. You could go on the website. All the contact information is there. You could find me on Facebook, on Instagram, Luba Popov, or the company Exclusive Land Services. And I'm also part-time at Ocean Breeze Pharmacy. We love helping people. We have durable medical equipment, not just medication. We have a growth hormone department. We FedEx, we ship all over the country. So if you need any help with medicine or title insurance, you could give us a call.
Outstanding. Thank you so much, Luba, for
Thank
coming
you.
on. We appreciate you. And thank you, everybody, for joining us. Remember, Ride the Wave, the path is to the person. You guys take care. It was a great show. Thank you so much.
Till next time.
All right, till next time. Thank you for tuning in to Ride the Wave. It's been a pleasure having you with us as we explore ways to make a positive impact together. Remember, every little wave creates a ripple of change. We appreciate any support you can provide as we plan to build an all-inclusive, modern campus and empower communities. For details on how you can contribute through various platforms, please visit us at ridethewave.org. Until next time, keep riding the wave of change with us. I'm Jeff Fisher, signing off, but the journey continues.